Alright, so today we're going to be reviewing the Viltrox 56mm f1.7 lens, which is currently on the camera right now. So do keep in mind that all the footage you're seeing is currently through that lens. And if you need to compare it with my other lens, the Sigma 30mm f1.4, you can easily go to my previous video and compare and contrast for yourself. And with that being said, let's start off with the very first and notable difference is that this is practically all that you can fit into the frame. Seeing that the camera is currently at the extreme corner of the wall, it's like 2 lengths of my hands away. Going into this lens, you know that it's a 56mm lens, and if you've ever used a Nifty 50, you know that it is known to crop in a lot on your image, so this is more than that. And with that being said, you go in with the knowledge that you have to learn how to frame your compositions and get the very best image that you can within a certain frame. And for where that comes in as a downside to some, I think personally that comes in as a benefit for the bokeh that it offers, which essentially is just the subject background separation and the nice blurry background you see. So about this lens, I personally like the color rendition on this lens. It's a lot different than the Sigma 30mm f1.4. If you're familiar with the Sigma brand, it's more bright, flashy. You have to kind of tone it down in post. It's a little too bright. Granted, an f1.4 lens does let in a lot more light than an f1.7. However, the Viltrox lens, you can kind of tell just by putting it on, it's kind of more contrasty, dark, more true to life, personally speaking. And I think it kind of gives this more deeper, richer tone. And I think that's just very good. In essence, I think this lens is just a contrast of my other lens, which, to be honest, they play perfectly off one another. I can use one for certain kind of vibes and the other for certain scenes, and to me personally that's just perfect. The best part about this lens, honestly, to me, is the fact that it has a 52mm thread, which plays off what I was just saying about being able to use both in different scenarios. I can take my matte box and easily adapt it to both lenses without having to add any filter adapters or nothing, and my matte box can just easily go from one lens to the other, allowing me to use my variable ND filters or my Pro Mist filters on my matte box ready from one lens to the other without changing anything. And I personally think that's perfect. And I've noticed that Viltrox, for the new line of lenses, have been using 52mm, and I personally think that's a great choice, having some level of consistency in the industry. Personally speaking, I'm here for it. With that being said, this video is brought to you by lowgradewall.com. Click that link in the description down below. I've been working on it, so check it out and let me know what you think about it in the comments. Let's get right back into the video. So in essence, the benefits of this lens is that you're able to get richer, more deeper compositions in your photos and videos. And a major benefit I've noticed is that this lens does not really have any noticeable warping on the edges. Practically what you see is what you get for the most part, but I have noticed whenever I put my photos from the 30mm lens into Lightroom, I do have to do a little bit of warping to get kind of a flatter, more true to life image, because it tends to compress it, which is no negative. I'm not trying to diss that lens specifically to boost this lens, nothing like that. They both have where they play to their benefits and what they excel at. Personally speaking, I'm just saying that this lens comes off more as true to life. Exactly what you see is what you get, and to me personally, I like that. So I know from the get-go that as I'm planning my vision board or planning wherever I need to get done, I know that exactly what I'm seeing is going to be similar to what the final product will look like, if not exactly what I intend it to look like. With that being said, there is really not much of an outstanding negative that I can actually say. However, with the benefits of the deeper, darker, richer tones, there is a tendency sometimes to give you a little bit darker than you need, so you might have to turn it up a little in post, which I never really had to do for the Sigma lenses, as I'm always turning it down. But here I see more or less, if I don't get it perfectly as I need it from the camera, I kind of have to tune it up in post, which is nothing, no problem at all. So the negatives pretty much are just the fact that you just need to learn how to compose your shots. If you're taking portraits in a small bedroom or small room, you just need to stand as far back as you can, which practically means your back is technically against the wall whenever you're taking shots. But if you're in a big studio and environment, you already know that this is going to be tight shot so you get enough space and you move far back enough and you're golden. There is not really any vignetting that I might say it's blatant or in your face. Might just be my camera correcting most of these flaws or faults, but for the most part there's really nothing in this day and age for you to say that it's glaringly bad that you can't either fix in post or you won't notice altogether, unless you're maximally pixel peeping, which for the most part those are literally never going to affect your real world use for any reason whatsoever. So with that being said, would I personally recommend this lens? Yeah, definitely. Personally speaking, from my point of view, I think that this lens is brilliant. It offers what it needs to offer. It does its job perfectly. The renditions are beautiful, and for photograph it offers beautiful photographs, especially portraits. And because I'm using an APS-C lens, the 56mm is practically the equivalent of an 84mm, which it's like an 85mm but better because you have a little more room and you still get the same compression and blurred background, so that is perfect. And with that being said, I personally would recommend this lens. If you enjoyed this video, do hit that like button down below, drop a comment if you have any questions, and with that being said, that's the video. Have a great day and take care.